All right, listen. You absolute fools, okay? I've managed to get myself back into the United States, back into, the battle station so that I can record and you can see me and you can hear me and it looks and just sounds better. And I've done all of this hard work for you. Right? I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Okay, I didn't do it for me. All right, and the fact that I wanted to come back up to New York and freeze my nays off. Right, I was on a beach. I was perfectly happy, allegedly. For all you know, I was in a room wearing Hawaiian shirts. That's all you know. Does it frustrate you? Yeah, that's all you know. What if I'm an international man of mystery? What if that was my actual house? And this is just a room that I rent. I guess I rent both, but whoa. But I've done all that hard work. I have gotten back up to New York in freezing conditions. Rain, snow, uphill both ways, only to be greeted by one of my biggest pet peeves on the face of the earth. One of my biggest pet peeves on the face of the earth. This tweet. Just drawn 2-2 with Wolves. This is the new Spurs. It is a Korean dude taking a selfie with the field after the game. Now, you might remember, we made a video. And by we, I mean me. I sat here and turned my camera on, or I guess I sat in whatever other room that was and turned my camera on. And I made a video talking about how fans were being stupid for getting mad at players for doing things even though their team wasn't performing well. It was Madison, the English national team player. He'd gone to the darts, I think, and Tottenham wasn't doing well. And then somebody told him, how could he possibly be going to the darts? And he said, he told the guy to shut up. And then somebody got mad because he told a fan to shut up. Right? This is the same thing. But to me, it's even worse. Right? Because now we're not even gatekeeping people that are different from us. Because I would love to pretend that James Madison and I, right, that we're two peas in a pod. I mean, we do kind of have the same forehead thing going on, I guess. Maybe we are two peas in a pod, and I just never realized it until now. Maybe he's one of my collection of doppelgangers that I just continue to add to. Mikhail Damsgaard, of course, being the best one. But let's say James Madison and I were two peas in a pod. I mean, this is literally the name of one of the former U.S. presidents, so maybe we've got that tie in there. I don't know. We're not, though. Like, James Madison's a professional footballer. He's living a completely different life. If he goes to the darts, he's in some VIP suite with gold-plated beer, right? If I go to the darts, I'm lucky if I'm able to get in at all, okay? Different lives. It's somebody that you can't really relate to, even if they are relaxing, right? It's like Aubameyang stopping the gas station to fill up his gold-plated Lambo, and you're like, well, why is our team not doing well? Well, this asshole's getting paid $450,000 a week, right? There is at least that cognitive disconnect that I feel like I try to do my best to bridge, because players are people, as much as it sometimes feels like with their hairstyle choices that they're not. This is fan-on-fan stupidity. This is fan-on-fan violence, right? Because the upset here is explained in more detail by this dude. Sat in the seat to the left of these two the whole game. Didn't get there until 10 minutes into both halves. Barely celebrated the goals and filmed Son every time he came into the corner. Never been one to moan about the Koreans, but it's beyond a joke now. Shut up. Like, is there any mystery about why these people are here and what they're doing? Right? If they're speaking in Korean to each other, odds are they are at the game to watch Son. That's what they're there to do. And who gives a shit if that's what they're there to do? Why do we care? Why do you think all of these English teams have these massive fucking stadiums? Okay, you're not the United States. We've got people coming out of our ears. We build 100,000 seat stadiums for college sports. Okay, and we fill them up with a bunch of drunk rednecks. All right, the reason that New White Hart Lane exists is not for you. It's not. Daniel Levy's such an ass, he'll probably tell you that it's not for you. If you are diehard home and away, Tottenham Hotspur, that's awesome. I love that part of the game. That is something that England does basically better than any other part of the world, right? At least as well as any other part in the world. That diehard home and away every weekend. It's my team, it's my people, my guys forever, right? And that is so cool. But this new stadium is not bought and paid for by you. It is not built to sell tickets to you, because you would go if they played in a field. right? New White Hart Lane exists for this guy. It exists for him. And it is paid for by him. Because there are fans of players on your team or fans of your team in general that don't have the logo tattooed on both ass cheeks, all right? Like, that is why the English teams have so much money. Because for every one fan of those clubs in England, there are 10 of them. Not 5, 10 outside of the country. Hell, for clubs like Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, there are more. Go to the US. Go to an Arsenal bar. Go to India. Go watch a game. They're all rooting for the same couple of clubs. It's why Manchester United can spend $100 million on Antony and still not struggle to financially register players like Barcelona. Right? Well, Barcelona obviously did a lot of things to put itself in that position, but I'll save that for the inevitable 15 more videos I'm going to make about that topic. But you should be welcoming these people. I don't know why, like, if they were being super annoying and disrespecting your club, then we're having a different conversation, right? But showing up 10 minutes late to the match, bro, I did that. The first major match in Europe, I showed up 10 minutes late because culturally there's this disconnect here where in the United States, when it says the game starts at 7, it starts at 7:20. There's like a whole bunch of shit that happens before the game. And so I show up 10 minutes after the game start, and the game is 10 minutes into it. Shout out to you guys for your punctuality here. But if you're going to get mad at this guy, you'd have to get mad at me, right? And maybe I am the archetype of everything that you hate. I am an American that has decided to emotionally invest myself in the world of football from a very young age, right? I say soccer when I'm not, talking to the internet, or when I'm talking about the sport in the United States, I say soccer. But in this instance, I say football because I'm talking about it in England. I got my own personal rules, my own personal credence and code that I try to use. But maybe I am just the embodiment of the things that you don't like in the game if you are one of those people. But what you need to understand is the reason that you have all of the super nice things that you have, the difference, the defining difference between a league like Italy or a league like France and England is that these few clubs, particularly at the top, have the biggest draw in the world, and their TV audience around the world is like, it has its own gravitational pull. It's so huge. And when those guys come in to watch a game, this is how they're going to act. He didn't boo your team. He didn't tell you were annoying. He didn't do anything to bother you at all. He showed up late to both halves. The second half probably because he doesn't go to every match, and he didn't know how long the lines were for the bathroom, a water, a beer, a hot dog, a meat pie, whatever the hell you want, right? He shows up late to the first half. He's not used to the match day experience the same as I was to know that you got to be in your seat 15 minutes before the fucking game, right? In order to be able to see all of this stuff. Barely celebrated the goals, which means you couldn't say he didn't celebrate the goals, so he celebrated the goals. I'm sorry he didn't throw his beer in the air to waste the $20 beer that he waited in line for 25 minutes. Right? So he barely celebrated the goals, and he filmed Son every time he's in the corner. I mean, there are plenty of people that aren't from Korea that would have been doing that. This is the social media age. If somebody sneezes in Times Square, there are 5 tweets about it. Okay, they're videoing everything. You ever see a video of somebody stepping in to take a corner? Like 40% of the people around him, and that's probably a low estimate, are taking a fucking video on their phone. This isn't beyond a joke. This take is beyond a joke. This lack of understanding of any other possible way to experience a match. You're not going to fill the entire stadium with home and away, piss and blood and beer and Tottenham Hotspur in your veins type people. You need casual fans. You need people that are fans of your superstars specifically. Right? And to people that are in Korea, he's the guy. Speaking it for, I come from a country where we have a guy. Christian Pulisic is the guy. I go to a match at AC Milan, I'm going to wear an AC Milan jersey, right? Because that's respectful, the same way that this guy's doing it. I'm there to watch Pulisic, the same way this guy's there to watch Son. I'm there to see my boy. I'm there to see what he can do against all these highfalutin European superstars, right? And that's exactly what this guy did. He didn't do one thing disrespectful. He's taking a damn selfie. He didn't even ask you to take it. He's not even wasting your time. He's taking it himself. I can't imagine. Like, if you're actually frustrated by this, you're just looking for it. You're looking for something. You're looking for something to piss you off. Right? You're one of those people that wakes up in the morning and hopes you stub your toes so that you can saw off the bedpost. Like, this guy didn't do anything annoying. He did everything that you would expect a casual fan to do that is there and probably super excited to see one of their favorite players, if not their favorite player. And all you needed to do was start a conversation like, hey, welcome to Tottenham. We're super happy to have you. And this guy might have become a huge Tottenham fan. But instead, you were a dick. So he probably won't be. Right? But like, just understand the humanity and where other people are coming from in these fandom situations. Because everybody in all these different cultures is going to be experiencing it differently. Okay? And not everybody grew up in a world where it's home and away and it's like a 30-minute train ride to go watch your team play every road game. All right? I've never watched my favorite NFL team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, play on the road. You know why? Because everything's a 4-hour flight here. Okay? Jacksonville and Miami aren't in our conference. So there's basically, there's no other game in Florida that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have to play. It's an 8-hour drive to Atlanta, 12 or like 10 to New Orleans, right? And Charlotte, which is the other team in our division, the Carolina Panthers, that's like a cool 12, 13-hour drive, right, to get up to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is just on the southern border of North Carolina. Could be worse. You live in a place that's great, that allows you to have this home and away culture that is like aggressively supportive and unique, and that is part of the reason why he's at this game, is to experience that culture. But the reason that you're able to have some of the best teams in the world, including Tottenham Hotspur, which is one of the best, biggest and best clubs in the world, despite the fact that miraculously they can't win a trophy, right? The reason you're able to have that is because of guys like this, not guys like you. Right? And that's the real Uno reverse card in this situation. When people get mad at these types of fans are the ones buying the merch. Right? And they're the ones filling out the stadium. Just be nice. Play nice. Right? And if you play nice, you're probably going to end up creating more lifelong Tottenham fans, like I was saying. Because you could have, taught them a chant or something, and it would have had an amazing experience. Instead, they had some grumbling English asshole taking pictures of them and trying to Snapchat about them while they were just trying to watch the game.